Okay, it's not enough people on yet, so let me go back. Hey, what's up? What's up, guys? Welcome back. I was just waiting for Sweet Teacup to finish on her live before I jumped on. I'm not going to hold you too long, but I just wanted to talk about, hey, Michelle, just want to get on here and talk about the topic or the topic of, when you have enough in the inside, what does it look like enough on the inside? Um, did I say, hey, Michelle? Yeah, I had a horrible headache. Oh, gosh, I got a horrible headache, but I'm gonna fight through this pain, you all. Hey, Cher, but yeah, what does enough on the inside look like? What does that mean, first of all? Um, from a spiritual standpoint, or just from a day-to-day standpoint, what does that look like having enough on the inside? I saw somebody say that in a live, or excuse me, not a live, but on an Instagram post, and somebody was giving a speaking, and they were talking about, what it looks like, material things, and talking about a guy who forgot his jewelry when he went out in public, and he, basically wasn't himself. And the person was speaking on, what is enough? Do you need those material things on the outside to make you feel like you are someone, to make you think that you are someone? When you have enough on the inside, when you're fulfilled on the inside, none of the other things, this is my opinion, of course, some people might look at it different, but none of the other things are going to matter because you are fulfilled 100%. Now, is somebody going to get fulfilled 100% overnight? Of course not. That takes work. That takes time. It takes falling back into old patterns and old thinking, and then basically, moving and growing and learning and healing, and then moving along to that understanding of what enough looks like. Enough means you don't need the validation of someone else. Enough means, why talk about someone who doesn't want to be with you? Exactly. Exactly. Some people have that, and that's why I was saying it, Michelle, because you're going to have to go through trying to figure out, why are you like this? Why is this person like this? And we can be speaking on anybody. But why does this person feel like they need to continue to talk about, for example, that individual? Why does that person need to feel the need to talk about someone else when life has moved on, life is going on? There's no need to bring it up. It's time to accept the fact that it's over. It's over. I don't know any other way to put it or sugarcoat it. But when you learn that life has moved on, as hard as it may be to understand that at times, then you can begin to heal. Then, in the process of healing, one can be able to grow. But you're not going to be able to do any of those things until you acknowledge that there is something that needs to be addressing you, because obviously enough isn't there. That person doesn't have enough, or those individuals don't have enough. Let her be, because he's broke and he misses her. Is child headache, child. The headache. Hey, Betty, I'm not getting your notification. Y'all, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I'm just so over them, to say the least. But I'm gonna continue with my messages and everything, because I believe that it's important and it can help. If it can help one person, then that's the goal. But yes, in order to be enough, and again, I know you're not going to reach that stage overnight. I know that it takes time. It can take years. My goodness, it can take years. But when you are enough inside, then none of the other stuff on the outside is going to matter. None of what anybody else has to, whatever they have to say or think, is going to matter. And it's a sad thing to see people who, aren't there yet. When you get a certain age, you would think that you will grow at some point, but in actuality and in all honesty, some people just not there. You can be 20 and be there, and then you can talk to somebody who's 70 and you look and be like, oh my God, you spent the whole lifetime and you still don't get it. And that's the sad part, and that's the sad reality that we all have to face, no matter how much we want a person to grow and to grow up and to heal and everything. I mean, it's a journey, you all, and some people have to go all the way back to the beginning, and they can be, like I said, 70 years old and have to go back to the beginning. You're never too late to learn, but it's frustrating when you see people repeating the same pattern over and over. And I understand, why, but it's still frustrating at times. I would be lying if I didn't say it's frustrating to see people that you really want to get it and that you really would like to help them to understand and get it, but in all honesty and in actuality, it's their journey, it's their time. And we cannot, dictate and determine when someone is going to wake up, or when it's the light bulb moment, when somebody's going to have that light bulb moment. We can't dictate that, unfortunately. We can't, well, I'm not going to say unfortunately, but I wouldn't want to dictate somebody's path because it is their path. But we can't determine when that time will come. But what we can do is plant those seeds and put that information out there. With the hope that it reaches the person that it needs to reach at that particular time, at that particular moment. Even if it's just like a small part of the message that they hear, that light bulb moment comes on. We all have those moments where you hear a message and you might didn't hear 20% of anything that they said, but that 5% of the message that you heard, that's what turned that light bulb on for you, and you was like, oh my God, that's what I needed to get to what I'm working on or where I'm trying to go to in life. So you know um that's what's so important, is that part of the message is heard, that part that needs to reach that individual. So I'm gonna hold that hope, because I know that people can change. And with myself, I can hear a message over and over and over, and that one moment I'll be like, wow, it just hit me. It just clicked as to what it was I was supposed to get from that message. But all in all, I can see, that, individuals are starting to pay attention. I do see that. I do notice that. Is it 100%? Of course not. It's not going to be that way, and it's not, and it's not supposed to be that way. We live in a microwave society where we want everything to happen overnight. But in all honesty, nothing's going to happen overnight. You're not going to get where you want to go to and become who you want to be. It's not going to happen overnight. And anybody that says it's an overnight type of thing, they're not telling the truth, because within time, yes, you can accomplish your goals and your dreams, but again, it takes work. It takes work, and that's just a part of it. So I say the same thing with what Michelle was saying. Yes, it does take work and it takes time. And some people, they can go on and in all honesty, they can grieve in a sense. I'm doing my fingers like quotes, but some people can grieve, because this is a grieving process, you all. Some people can grieve, and grieving comes out in anger as well, guys, just to keep that in mind. Somebody can be in grief so bad and for so long that it can result into like a depressive state, and depression exhibits itself in anger at times as well. So definitely keep that in mind. And it can look to the point where, yes, it can be very frustrating. It can give you a headache. It can make you mad at that person. But yes, this individual is definitely going through the grieving process, and it's not a cute thing. Hey, Tommy Tom. But I did see, switching subjects, but I did see Royalty's video. I mean, good Lord, her video, her Instagram post story where, she had got her hair and stuff done. It was some cute hair she had in her hair. I was like, that is too cute. And the girls got their hair done and everything. And, everybody looks happy and healthy. I forgot who was asking something about that I hear about not the twins, but the older kids standing on the corner. But of course, y'all, I'm sure that was false, of course, because the kids look very happy. They don't look like they out there begging for nothing, just for anybody that was wondering, just the confirmation that the kids look happy and healthy. And, I didn't think that was the case anyway. But they look happy and healthy and thriving. That's the main thing we want to see is, the kids are thriving as we can see and happy. And Royalty is definitely glowing and definitely happy. And of course, we saw the twins posted a couple days ago, and they happy and being kids and everything and playing. But yes, this is sad. Switching back over, this is sad, you all. Sad, this is sad that people, it takes a while. It just takes a while, regardless of how much we want for people to change and to get off a subject, if you will, get off a subject matter that is this going on what, 2 years now? 2.5 years? Y'all done lost count here. 2.5 years or whatever. Um, I don't know. Has anybody? I've never been like that, and I don't know if anybody else has been, still thinking about their ex many years later. And the reason being, when you're a good thing, and you're able to move on and be happy in life. You're because you know that you gave it your all. You gave it your all, and I can tie this in together, you all, without even realizing it. But and when you giving it your all, guess what? You can peacefully walk away and say, I did everything that I could, and my best wasn't good enough for this individual, and know deep down inside that she is enough and she's always been enough. And that's the acceptance part. She knows that she's enough inside, and knowing when you're enough, you can actually move away and walk away from things that don't serve you anymore. That's the whole part of, moving on with your life, is ridding those things that no longer serve you purpose anymore. And yes, it can be a hard thing to do and a hurtful thing to do, but we've all done it at some point in time. We've all done it, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a job, whether it be a family member or a friendship. We've all moved on and realized that we had to go on because we've given enough of ourselves in life. And now it's time to, make sure that we're okay and that we're happy in being at peace and knowing that, guess what, you are enough. You're enough inside, and you don't have to keep on giving to somebody who doesn't see, that you are enough, that you are worthy. You don't have to do that anymore. And that's what I can say about Royalty. She knows that she's enough inside because she was able to just move on and walk away. And I know some people might think, okay, this is a situation that has taken its course, it's played out, meaning there's nothing to talk about. But, there's always life lessons. We can always go back and pull out a piece of the story and dissect it and discuss it and, help someone who may not even know anything about this situation, help someone who may not even be a part of this situation, and they can relate it to their life and be able to learn something from it. So it's all about this whole experience that we're having. It's all about the healing and growing and being able to move on in life, and some people get caught up in a stage of being stuck. They forgot what the whole purpose was. The whole purpose was, hun, is for you to realize the error in your ways, number one, acknowledging it, number one, and then number two, heal from it. After you acknowledge the error in your ways and realize you messed up, then it's time to heal from it. Hey, Chastity, then it's time to heal from it. And then healing can take, again, you all, it can take a long time depending on what kind of individual you are. Because in healing, guess what? People are going to go back to square one. You might have gotten to 9 and only had one more to go, but then you go all the way back because you haven't realized and accepted of the reality that it's over with. And while you're healing, you're going to go through a lot of hurt and pain. And, it's hard for a lot of people. Some people don't want to go through that hurt and pain. Some people don't want to feel that, everybody doesn't want to feel what it feels like to be hurt, so it's better to just go back and just, act like it doesn't exist and go back and do whatever you need to do or whatever you feel like is the best thing for you to do to get over that person or to just cope. Because, I'm just going to say not ever really being truly over that individual, as we can see, but to be able to cope. Some people have to go back to that point A to make them feel better, to live in that reality that maybe I will get back with this individual, to say to themselves that it wasn't my fault, I didn't do anything wrong. Some people have to go back and some people have to go back to that point, and that's the only way that they can cope, y'all. It's just simply put, that's the only way some people can cope. And yes, it's sad, but we got to look at it from the standpoint of That's not our reality. Our reality, many of us, we deal with things head on, and regardless of how messed up it is, we go through that pain and hurt, and then we move on. And everybody's not like that. So that's what we're seeing. Everybody's not like that. And unfortunately, the going back and forth, that's just, how it is. Facts. Let's keep it real. He still wants her. And yes, when a person still wants someone, oh my goodness, y'all. Some of us done been out here where we done dated somebody, or being engaged or married and whatever the case may be, and then we like, nah, we got to go. And then we look back, and that person, they ain't got over us. You know what I'm saying? Child. But you was a good person to them, and you was there for them. And I'm sorry that they didn't realize it at the time that, honey, the grass is not greener on the other side. You can't tell people nothing nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, again, many of us is old enough to say we done experienced that, where ex done came back and like, I won't try to work it out. Excuse me, work what out? Honey, that ship has sailed. That ship has sailed. It undocked and it unsailed some more times, honey. Ain't nobody thinking about you. Ain't nobody thinking about you. I'm sorry that you didn't realize the worth at that time. Hey, energy of Pluto. I'm sorry you didn't realize the worth at that time, but baby, life has got to go on, and life has moved on. Because that's what when they come back, honey, that's just a prime example of them letting you know without saying it. Hey, Sharonda Day, that's a prime example of when a man comes back to you and wants to be with you, and we all experience this, honey. As him saying without saying that I messed up, I got out there and I saw that it was not what I thought it was, or I saw that she wasn't what I thought she was, and I don't want her no more. I want to come back, Negro. It is too late, honey. Here I done moved on and got a new relationship, or some women done got married, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. And it's a lot of men that's out there that's like that. They don't realize that. They think the grass is green on the other side, and they think they can have any woman that they want, and vice versa, women too. Let me not just say women. I mean, men are like that. There's some women out there like that, that have gotten some really, really great men. And then when the woman acts up, then guess what? She done ruined it for all of the other women, because he done gave his heart to the wrong woman, and then she turned out to be nothing. And then when you meet him, then he don't want to act right because he's so hurt and he's guarded and everything else. But sidebar, I digress. Let me get back to the point. But yeah, the whole fact remains is that you got to accept the fact that you messed up and you lost a good thing, and it's a lot of men that don't want to accept that. They'll go around and get woman after woman after woman after woman just to prove to themselves, because they ain't proving it to you, but to prove to themselves that I can still have this. I'm good. I'm fine. When deep down inside you're suffering in silence, and yes, you do go on and try to fulfill yourself by being with other individuals and doing what you think it is to make them happy when you're miserable inside, no pun intended to anybody. But that's what a lot of things that people do. They'll go and show this next person that they're with the world, when really that's not what you wanted to do. You really want to show the person that you were with, hey, I'm sorry, I messed up. We all make mistakes. Yes, both parties make mistakes, but sometimes you can't fix it. You just cannot fix it. You just can't fix it. Hey, Felicia, some things you just can't fix, and you can't go back. And that's the harsh reality of life's lessons. You can't fix things, and you can't go back, and you just have to accept that. Whether I know it can be hard for people, and be able to move on and heal. You have got to heal. One of the things that I will always say is that when you are in a relationship and it didn't work out for whatever reason, give yourself time to heal. Do not go on and jump into something else. Certainly don't go and jump into a relationship. I would say don't even date. I mean, why would somebody want to date as soon as they don't come out of a relationship is the question I have. Question of the day. Why would anybody want to go and jump into dating as soon as they came out of a relationship? You should want to be with yourself. You should be tired and worn out from everything, from their shenanigans and to whatever else was going on in relationship. You should not even want today, honey, here, because you ain't even got a clear mind. You ain't even got a clear mind. You got to figure out what it is you want. You got to figure out along the way, who you are as an individual. You got to figure out a lot of stuff. And jumping into a relationship soon as you leave a relationship or just getting out there dating, it's too much. It's too soon. It's too early. You got some work to do. Okay. That's why it's called healing, because you got some serious work to do. Inner healing, mind, body, soul, and spirit. You got to heal a lot of those areas, and you're not going to be 100% healed immediately. That's, again, that takes time and that takes effort. That takes you wanting to put in that work. And if you're not really ready to put in that work, don't go and be with somebody else, because you're not being fair to that individual. That person could be ready, but you're not ready. And then there you go, you've ruined somebody else's life along the way. Not permanently, but just just short term, because you've gotten that person caught all up and they thinking that you're ready and you're really not. So that's the main thing that I would say is, if you're not really healed and you're not ready, please don't jump out there into another relationship, because you're not going to do nothing but just start hurting people along the way, really. And then for the ones who do jump in there and get into a relationship because they're afraid of being alone and everything, guess what? That's the rebound person. And again, you're going to hurt that person and you're still never going to be healed. You're still not going to be healed. So yeah, I've seen, some posts and stuff out there, and I can't remember verbatim what one was saying about doing things for other people, making other people happy because you're trying to feel. I'm paraphrasing y'all because I can't remember. You're trying to basically fill that void with inside of you, and I would say there's some truth to that. Because you're trying to make everybody else happy because you're thinking that that's the right thing to do. But it's as you can see, it's not bringing you happiness, and I'm speaking to that person directly. It's whoever that is. It's not bringing you happiness. Only true happiness is going to come when you start to heal you. And again, it's sometimes it's like talking to a person, and they got a brick wall in front of them, because if they've never heard anybody talk like this, if they've never been around this type of information, if you will, then it won't make sense to them. It won't make sense. You got to enlarge your circle, or you got to you start to be around people that think differently and do things differently, and it could be somebody that you least expect that can bring you this type of information that can help you along your path. And speaking of, like I said, the royalty situation, she's removed herself from the situation, and she's healing on her own. She's learned to heal. She didn't jump in a relationship. She's only friends with the individual that she's been talking to. And that's a good thing, because you got to thoroughly heal. And you got to learn what you want for yourself, And I would say that to the other individual on the other side, and anybody out there that's going through this type of transition. You got to learn to heal on the others. You got to learn to heal with inside, and then determine what it is you want, and then determine who it is that you are. None of this is going to come overnight. It can take a couple of years to figure it out if you're not doing some serious soul searching, And it's just sad. Thank you. And it's just sad that to be in your late 30s, and we all have that enlightening moment where we start picking up on things and we start seeing things. But some people, they can see it and they can hear it and they won't pay attention to it. And guess what? You got to keep repeating the same freaking story over and over until it plays out the way it's supposed to, because life will not let you move on. Trust and believe. Life will not let you move on until you have dealt with the very issues that keep on holding you back. Oh, that's another thing. And until you deal with those issues that are holding you back, guess what? You're not going to be able to move along the path that you really want to. Guess what? You might think you're moving along that path, but you keep on running into resistance. You keep running into road blockages, and you don't understand why. You thinking everything's going fine, but you keep on hitting these brick walls because you're not living in your truth. You got to live in your truth. You got to, wake up and smell the coffee, as they said, whatever the case may be. You have got to deal with those deep rooted issues, because you're not going to experience the best you until you do. It's just that simple. They enjoy their life and doesn't like it. Yeah, exactly. They enjoy their life and he doesn't like it. And we've had people that we've been cool with or friends with at some point in time, and and they're not happy deep down inside because they see you happy and they want you to be miserable too. Well, honey, guess what? I'm not gonna be miserable with you just because you're miserable. I can see that you upset and you're not happy about a lot of things, but I can't help you with that. Meaning, I can't change that. You have to change it. Now, I can talk to you and work with you on some things, but you got to be willing to do the work. So when you're willing to do the work, then your life can look like theirs as well. But nobody can force this upon anybody. This is something that a person has to undertake themselves and say, "Hey, I am ready to do this work within me." If Roy to get child support from him, he might. And I hope not, Michelle. I really, really hope not. And that's why, I'm speaking out now. I'm trying to be more understanding instead of just, straight out, let's keep it real. I'm trying to be a little more empathetic and sympathetic. In the way I say things, because I do see a troubled spirit. I do see a troubled spirit, and that has concerned me over the time that we've been following this whole story, this whole life story, and that I don't want that to happen. I don't, because people that, yes, they do break up and some people can't handle it. Some people cannot handle it. And, he's very fragile at this time. Yes, he's very fragile. And I will, say that. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying that in a way, like I said, I see that he needs help. And I just hope that he gets the help so he can be good for himself. Cause, what we want is the people. And even when I was being harsh in my messages, don't get me wrong, I still wanted him to do right. But I just had a different way of saying it at the time. But like I said, I don't dislike his person. I don't hate him. Hate is a strong word. Can't hate somebody who's never done anything to me. But yeah, I do still feel that he's very fragile right now. And, you know, like I said, hopefully he's getting the help that he needs, whether it be therapy. I did see where he said something about, or he was speaking about therapy. So hopefully he is getting some help right now, because especially with this time and everything, because a lot of people don't process the things the way we process it at the time. Hey Rose, and the reason I say that is because when we get hit with bad news, some people fly off the deep end. They don't know how to process that. Oh my God, life is over. I don't know what to do. We've all been there at some point in time, but when you keep getting hit with when you keep getting hit with bad news over time, guess what? You start to recognize it and you start to say, okay, I've been here before. I cannot keep on getting my blood pressure raised up. I cannot keep on feeling stressed and upset about this situation. I have got to process this a different way, because I keep on getting the same results. Because again, life will keep on bringing those same things back up to you over and over and over again, till you learn how to process it differently, till you learn how to look at it differently. Because these are life lessons, regardless of how much we can't stand these lessons. They life lessons. Michelle, yes, we see Exhibit 2.0. He is cheating on Lexi with, oh my gosh, see what I'm saying? So he's basically repeating a cycle. You allegedly, we can't confirm nor deny. So allegedly, it's repeating a cycle. And I'm just gonna go on and put this out here. These people who keep on going for this stuff, you get what I'm saying? You cannot keep on going for this stuff either. At this point now, we gotta look at other people that are involved as well. Because I mean, child, come on now. Who's gonna keep getting caught back up in this whole cycle again? I mean, again, these are young people, so. But it's some young people out here that's smart. So let me not say that. It's some young people out here that is enlightened than a mud, honey. Here, because I've seen them on TikTok. And y'all, they can say what they want about TikTok, but honey, TikTok is, like I said, it's some brilliant individuals out here, and they are waking up the masses. And kudos to them for doing so as well. Because like I said, you can't reach everybody at certain stages. So those young ones out there, they there to reach whoever. You know what I'm saying? Long as they out there doing the work is what matters. Every video he made, he looked like he say, and I have not been watching any videos lately, and I can see that he is crying out through the stories and everything. I can't see that. And like I said, my hope and is that he does get the help that he needs to help him heal, and just be able to feel good about himself. He has to be able to feel good about himself deep down inside, because the what's the word I'm looking for? The pacifying, for lack of a better word, the pacifying, just doing things to make himself feel good at that moment in time. That's only gonna last for so long. It won't last. It won't work forever. You got to do the work. You got to do the work. He thinks views and money will heal his trauma. And that's it, Jay. And it won't. It will not. It will not. You can have all the diamonds and riches and cars and homes in the world. We've seen it. And people, they go out there and just self sabotage. We've seen it because they're not happy. We see it all the time out there. And in the different stars or whatever you want to call them, Hollywood stars or whatever the case may be. We see it. He talking about her. Really? And like a dog, she would never go back to him. And see, he's taking that hurt and pain, and it's coming out the wrong way. He keeps on doing it the wrong way, and guess what? He's starting right back over with stage one. Yeah, he's chasing highs. He needs to chase peace, like exactly what Royalty did. Like I said, guys, I saw a long time ago in Royalty. I said she's more spiritually enlightened, in the way she would talk and the way she would speak on certain things, and certain words that she would say. You know what I'm saying? When you're like that, you can pick up on people like that. It's easy. It's not hard. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be like, "Well, I don't get it." It's not hard to get, sweetheart. It is not hard when you're on that same vibration. That's the word I'm looking for. When you're on that same vibration, I see it when people speak in the comments. I can see it all the time. When you're on that same vibration, that vibration resonates. You know what I'm saying? We resonate with each other without even realizing it and knowing it. And then when they get to speaking even more, come on now, it's just like clockwork. You can see it. So I saw that with her a long time ago. I saw it when the way she talk and everything. So I knew that she would be okay. And yes, you're gonna have life trials and tribulations. Yes, that's just a part of life. Can't none of us stop that. As much as we want life to be smooth sailing, can't none of us stop life lessons. That's the part of the reason why we came down here, to help each other as well, go through our experiences. And guess what? Our experiences that we have in life and that we go through and that we've made it through, and that we can talk about and give information on or teach people on. That's why we have them, so we can give back to other people. That's the reason, one of the main reasons why, so we can help other people to heal and to grow. That's why we down here. We're not down here to bicker and fight. We're not down here to swap insults with each other. We're not down here to hate one another. You know what I'm saying? And when I say hate, when it goes internally, where you hate a person because of their skin color, that's not what we were down here for. Those are all man-made concoctions that were drawn up to keep the divide. We're all powerful beings, but we've been divided by mankind with these devices to keep us on lower vibrations. And I'll say once again, it's time to wake up. It is time to wake up and quit letting us be controlled by the masses who want to keep us dumbed down. Guess what? They're living, they living a life that they want, because guess what? They're keeping their vibrations down, but they dumbing us down at the same time. Yes, that's why Royalty has been able to overcome all the stuff he did to her. She's very strong and spiritual. Exactly. Very strong and very spiritual. She's a strong woman. Definitely very strong and very spiritual. And some people, they don't get that. They don't understand it. And it's not a put down to that person. It's not a put down. A lot of people don't understand it. And in time, hopefully, in time that this individual can work up. And he did used to talk like it. He did used to talk like it a lot, about the law of what do you call it? The law of attraction. He used to speak on a law of attraction, but of course we know there's more than one law of attraction. So if that's his thing, I would suggest, if he likes to focus on the law of attraction, that's one way he needs to try to, start going over those different laws and reading up on them and realize how much they apply to life. He needs to start looking at some of those things, the things that he relates to, or it tie back into some of the things that, him and Royalty would talk about, whether it be the law of attraction or just spirituality in itself, the Most High. Because now he says God, go back to whatever he resonated with before when he was with Royalty, because, he's a different person now, is what I'm trying to say. Go back to that connection that he once had. You don't have to keep that person in order to keep that connection. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm getting. I'm getting downloads now, you all, spiritual downloads as they call it. That's the connection that he's still holding on to. The person doesn't have to be there anymore. You got the lesson from her. She was there to help you on that path. So that path has been started. She's gone now. You get what I'm saying? She's gone now. So he needs to continue along that path. And whatever it is that, she helped him to see when they were together, continue along that path. Continue to grow with what it was. Open that book. Get on the internet and start doing your research. Start listening to some videos out there. There's a lot of people that can teach him a lot of stuff. Okay. Research alone, just doing put that video game down. Put that video game and just start researching some things and asking his higher self, that voice that you hear inside of that soft voice that you hear inside of your head, that ain't gonna knock you upside your head for you to hear it, but that little soft background voice that you hear, that's your true self speaking to you. Listen to that true self and allow it to help you. It's there for a reason. It's there to guide you throughout life. It will not tell you wrong. It will not tell you wrong. And that is what I want and hope that he gets, so he does not continue down the road that he's continuing down, because it's sad. And it's really sad. It's really sad to see him continue along that path. And he needs to go seek help, find people to help him. And guess what? Find people that really care. And find people that really care, Rose, because, I've been saying this and we've been saying this for a while. Find people that really care, because people that really care, they're going to want you to get the help. They're not going to stand around and watch you self-destruct. If they see you self-destructing, then guess what? They'll remove themselves, because someone is going to remove themselves because they don't want to watch you go down that path. They'll remove themselves before they sit there and just watch you self-destruct, because, in my opinion, if you stay around and you just watch it, then you know better than them. You know better than them, because you just sat there and watch that person create that demise for themselves. You just watch them do it. So that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Some people would totally disagree. But if you just sat back and watch them continue, that's just like a person that's, for example, taking drugs every day, and you sit there watching them taking drugs every day, and it's wrong, and you're not saying nothing. You ain't saying nothing. You just watching them do it. You see the hurt that is causing them, the destruction that is causing them, and you in that same household, and you just sitting there. No, you'd be better off just walking away. You'd be better off walking away, for real, because he's hurting his baby. Exactly, his baby. Yes, he's hurting her, because she's there every day seeing it, and she deserves to have a dad that's going to be 100% whole. Not perfect, but at least whole within himself, because she's going to pick up on that. She is already picking up on that energy, those vibrations. And you don't want to pass it on along to this child, because that's the reason why. Oh, I'm so glad you said it, Michelle. I'm so glad you said it, because that's the reason why a lot of us have had to work on ourselves as an adult, because guess what? A lot of stuff that we went through in life, we learned it from our upbringing, from the people that we saw in our lives, and we picked up on it, and we thought that this was how it's supposed to be. We thought that this is how life is supposed to be. But then we got out there in the world, and we got older, and we were like, wait a minute, what is going on? Why am I experiencing this? This is not me. This is not who I am, because of what you were taught and what you saw growing up. Those were other people's ideas and beliefs that we have to shake off and grow and realize that it's ain't me. This is not who I was. This was never who I was. This was either mom or dad or aunt or grandmama. This is what they taught me. This is what I saw. So I'm thinking this is the way life is supposed to be. But guess what? You got old and you realize this is not it. This is their belief. This is what they thought. This is how they function based on what they grew up on. You get what I'm saying? So you got to realize who you are, your identity, and what she is starting to pick up on it and is latching on to without her even realizing it is what she's seeing through, the people around her. And then she's going to have to realize when she gets to a certain age that this is not who she was. She picked up on this because of the people that were around her that were not healed, that were hurt. You get what I'm saying, you all? This stuff is deep. It's so deep. Hey, Callie, this stuff is so freaking deep. I'm so glad you said it, Michelle, because Ooh, that hit home. That's why I had to get that out there, because I heard somebody speaking about this earlier and I was like, wow. And that was a great example. Yes, that stuff, all these traumas and pains that we go through and we get out here in life, it's because it was from someone else as well. You know, the childhood pain that he's going through, yes, it's from something else, but he got to realize this is not his hurt and pain. This was, yes, what happened to you was hurtful, but it was because of something else, you know? So don't hold on to this pain and let it take over you. You are hurting. Yes, you went through pain and hurt. I'm not saying don't acknowledge it. You are hurting because of what somebody else did. Don't take on that hurt. You don't take it on. You got to let it go and move on and realize that I'm enough. Yes, I have a lot of hurt and pain inside of me, but I'm enough. And that's what he's got to get to, you all. Oh, I'm so glad you said it, Michelle. Oh, I'm so glad that you brought that point up, because that's exactly what's going on as well, is that he is experiencing the things that he was taught in his childhood, and he's carrying it over like this was his. Baby, that was never his to carry. That is never his to carry. Not one bit. Not none of those kids. That was never their cross to bear. Like the old folks used to say. That was never their cross to bear, honey. That was never his. And he has got to understand that and get that through his head and heal from all of that trauma and pain that was somebody else's hurt, trauma, and pain that he attached onto himself. And then on top of the pain and trauma that he went through, you see how many layers and cores this shit is, you all? It goes deep. He's got to peel those layers out. My God. I find it weird how she is calling Kamari to be around her 24/7. She said, except he's not. I know. And that's sad. He's prioritizing using Kamari for content over education. Yeah. And this is it. It's the layers is just so deep. And it's just, like I said, the hurt it's just a build up and accumulation of years and years, and then the hurt that he experienced, it's deep. It's really deep, you all. It's really deep. And I'm not gonna say I'm gonna keep him in my prayers. I don't, that's just that again, you got to command it, you gotta call it forth. So I'm putting that intention out there. I'm sending that intention out there. I'm sending that vibration out there that, his higher self will speak to him, and that he will listen, and that he will start to realize and understand, and that, he can heal, and that he can be enough inside, and that he can be whole within himself. We all have that potential to be 100% whole. It's a journey, it's a process, and then of course life's gonna come and test you again, honey. Here, life's gonna come and test you again and see, okay, is you ready to move on to this stage? Okay, we're gonna test you. We're gonna put this on out here, and we're gonna see if you're ready for this next stage. Okay, she did good, he did good. Let's go try this next stage. It's gonna always be, but it's how we respond to it. It's how we respond is what it's about, So yeah, I'm not gonna hold y'all. Let me get on back up in here, bro. But yes, it's a bunch of life lessons. It's a bunch of lessons for today. So I'm not gonna say that's the lesson for today, but those are the lessons for today, because I can't think of just one to focus on all of them. And like I said, if he hears this message, please listen to your higher self, that little voice in the back of your head. Please listen to it, baby, because it's the one that's always been there for you. It's the one that we quite often ignored over our lifetimes. And it's the one that has always been there and is not going to tell you wrong. And above all else, it cares about you more than antibody. Okay. Antibody, because it is you. It's your true you, So y'all have a really great day. He needs help. There's only so much people can do. And that's why I say he's got to listen to his self, y'all, that higher self. Y'all have a really great day. Have a blessed day. And be encouraged, because life does get better. Just go through the process of healing and growing, and it definitely does get better. See y'all later.